Thank you.
This is so cool to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
You know-
You call me and I'm always come, Corina. It's got these powers which will heal you, which will transform you, protect you, and encourage you, enhance you. I was
Wow.
like, oh,
Today on Wellness Heroes, we're joined by none other than Dr. Sandip Soparrkar, the internationally acclaimed dancer, choreographer, and someone who's been redefining the way we look at wellness. Beyond the glitz of stage and the glamorous screen, Sandeep has been using the power of dance therapy to heal, to uplift, and bring balance to countless lives. For him, wellness isn't just about fitness of the body, but harmony of the mind and spirit. A true wellness hero, Sandeep brings rhythm, joy, and therapy together in a way that transforms him. Sandy, thank you so much for being here.
thank you.
This is so cool to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
This is really fun. Okay, I've been really looking forward to this for such a long time, and it's you say you manifest and you put it out in the universe, it comes true. Well, it's come true.
And we come matching as well as colors.
As usual, absolutely. Guys, the first time I met him was many moons ago. I was a young journalist with a magazine, a city magazine, and he was this bright, charming gentleman from the hospitality industry. And I remember the first time he walked into the office, every one of us stopped talking, and we all tried very hard to not pay attention to what he was telling our editor, but all our ears were glued to him. And I promise you, he was the font of entertainment. He knew things that none of us knew, and we were journalists, and he had us riveted. Needless to say, my editor then had her hand on her heart, and all she kept saying, "Really, really," and we were like, and we couldn't stop. We literally, actually, I swear to God, we went. We did this human dynamics. Okay, we went slowly. We kept turning till we could actually see him, and he was charm personified. That was my first memory. That is my first memory of Sandip Soparrkar. Of course, over the years, I grew up into an editor, and then of course one of my first journalist friends, one of my first journalist friends told me, we should have this event where we should call Sandeep for this event. And I remember Sandeep had just started his career in Bombay, and he was doing marvelously well. And it's a known fact that once you leave Pune and you go to Bombay, you get a little taken away with the glitz, the glamour of Mumbai, of maximum city. And I remember calling him up and saying, Sandeep, I'm doing this event at this gallery. Will you come? He came. He just said, yeah, I'm coming. He didn't only just come for this event, he brought his entire troupe with him. And I remember the fun we had that afternoon.
I
Remember?
know, it was interesting.
It was so much fun. He had all of us dancing. From that day on, I only had one way to describe him. My personal god of light feet. Have feet, will dance. That's been Sandip Soparrkar. And Sandeep, I'm so glad you're here.
You call me and I will always come, Corina.
Thank you so much, love. That's really sweet
We
of
go
you.
back so many years,
Too many.
and I think that friendship, that love, that affection, that warmth, the encouragement which you gave me that time, very few people in the city did. And I think that I will always cherish it and remember it all my life.
Thank you, sweetheart. That's very sweet of you. But you know what? They always say goodness begets goodness. It's because you're such a good person that it's natural for other people around you to be good as well. So I'm just glad. I didn't really do much. I was just reflecting the vast glory right now. Sandeep, coming to glory, as you know, we're doing this event called the Wellness Heroes. And I know that you've done a lot for men and women who've been hurt in mind, body, and spirit.
True.
And you believe very strongly that dance can really set you free, can really heal. So tell us a little about that.
Dance is magical, I believe. Once you bring it into your life, you just see yourself transform without even realizing how it's happening to you. It's got these powers which will heal you, which will transform you, will protect you, it will encourage you, enhance you. And that is what I think we all need. We all have some kind of lower phases in our lives. We have high phases in our lives. Dance is a balancing factor. It will make you understand yourself. I think it's the highest form of self consciousness. Where to put your finger, where to put your nails, your wrist, your arms, your forearms, your neck, your body, your rib cage, your waist, your hip, your right hip, left hip, knees, elbows, everything right from your toes to the top of your hair. You are planning in your mind. That's the kind of self consciousness dance gives you. It's like meditation. You close your eyes and you look within when you meditate. Here, you open your eyes and you still look within. I think that's what the magic of dance is. And I think we all need to have it in our life. It doesn't have to be a particular dance form. It doesn't have to be Bharatanatyam or a classical or a folk or a Western form. It can be any dance form. I think it's important that we should dance at least 5 minutes every day. And if you don't have 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes once a week, so that you understand, you spend that time with yourself. And if you do that, I don't think you'll ever be depressed. You'll always be happy, smiling, and contented with what you have in life.
I'm sure. I mean, I've seen you in action, pal. And I don't think, I mean, I know there have been times when you've been fatigued. I know you've been exhausted, you've been tired. But the moment the music goes on,
It all
there's
disappears.
yeah, there's like the switch flips in within you, you know. I've seen that.
I've also seen people, heal themselves. I will give an example of this big business family. I wouldn't take the names because they are very well known in our country. They were going through a divorce. And they both came to my dance class, but not the same batch. They both came in different batches because they were going through the separation. They didn't want to dance together. And I think I happened to bring the batches together one day for some reason. And they both came into the class together. I did not know that they were married. I, of course, knew him because he is an icon in the industry. I didn't know her because she always keeps a low key. During the dance class, we would make them change partners and come together in groups. We did that. They both danced together. And I had no clue that they were husband and wife. We were going back home and I was waiting for my cab to come in when they stopped the car, this huge, long, beautiful car, and they said can I drop you home? So I said, I live really far away and you are on the other part of the city. He said, no, we would like to take you for a drive and drop you there. So I sat in the car, and when we were sitting in the car, he said, I don't think you know, but she's my wife. I was
Wow.
like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't realize that she was your wife.
Okay.
So he said, he stopped the car on the side and he said, I want to tell her something in front of you today. I don't think you're aware that we're going through a divorce. And today when I danced with her, I realized that she's the most beautiful woman in the world. And he held her hand and he said, I don't want to leave you anymore.
How cool is that?
Thank you for the dance you did with me today, she said. He told her. And I just thought to myself, that what a fabulous way of healing a couple
Yeah.
is through dance. That one dance made him realize how beautiful she was. And especially in ballroom dancing, which I specialize in, we say that there are 7 basic postures in ballroom dancing which correlate to 7 vows of the wedding. So Sat Fere, Saptapadi, Saptavachan, 7 vows, whatever you talk about. There are 7 postures in dance correlating to those 7 vows. We all know kya khaya tha, kisko bulaya tha, which designer made our clothes, where we went for honeymoon, who gave us what gifts. We all know that. We remember that. But very few of us remember the 7 vows. We'll remember 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But if you dance every time together, you will relive those vows every time. And that's what happened that day. I just happened to explain the 7 vows on the dance floor, which I do to all my students. And look what miracle it did.
I'm sure.
So this is how dance heals. It makes you realize things without you realizing it. I think that magic we all need to experience. And being a teacher, being a dancer for so many years now, I think I have experienced it and I've seen it happen. And I think it's the best, best, best healer.
I'm sure. So what did she say?
She just cried
Oh.
and she told me, thank you, sir. And he said, thank you, sir. And they both were crying. They both were holding hands. And I was feeling strange be sitting behind the car like, what am I supposed to say now? Okay. But I think
You didn't know whether
I
you
will never forget. This
Yeah.
happened 25 years back, I think.
Wow.
I will never forget that moment because I think it's so special to me
Yeah.
that without me realizing it, my art form has helped them.
Correct.
What more can a teacher ask for?
Well, stupid Cupid, you know your magic, okay? I can just think about it. And you also, I'm sure you also felt like kebab mein haddi after
Of
that, right?
course I did.
है ना?
For that 1 hour travel to the other side of the city, I was sitting quietly behind.
Which is so unlike you, okay? 'Cause you cannot be quiet for a single sentence. Oh wow. Now that would have been the time to come and be fly on the wall. Sandeep, you've also done a lot of work with children. I've seen you dance with kids. I've seen you dance with young men and women. I have seen you dance with kids, and something clicks in you. The light that comes on when you dance with children. You truly believe that you teach them young and you watch them grow. So tell us a little about that. Tell us, how does dancing with children or dancing for children help them in their natural environment and their growth?
It's, I think, the most important aspect because that's the tender age when they understand culture, history, traditions, values. And I believe there's nothing better than dance and music for you to understand that. So if I want to understand today about Pune and Pune culture, I will want to talk about the Maharashtrian Lavani, their food, the music, Dhol Tasha, Ganesh festival, the things that happen during the festival. So I think all of this is a way to understand your values of life. It doesn't have to be a particular genre of dancing or a particular genre of music. To know your values of your country or other countries, it's important to go through dance. And if you learn earlier age, it'll remain with you forever.
Yeah, I'm
Like
sure.
when we learn ABCD till today, we can speak and write.
Correct.
It's because we learned it at that age. But if you learn later in life, it might take you time to develop.
Correct.
So as a child, if you learn music and dance at an early age, it will remain with you. You don't have to be a dancer
Correct.
ahead in your career. But if you have that with you, you will understand culture,
Correct.
you understand tradition, and I think a person with great values of life and
Right.
understanding of culture and tradition is a
Correct.
wholesome person
Correct.
who has the right soul inside,
Correct.
which is most important.
And moreover, children have no fear, and they haven't quite yet developed those defenses of
ये
conscious.
ठीक है वो गलत है
हाँ.
so they are such like open books, they are blank slates. You teach them something, they will grasp it more than the old elders, and I think that is what is the best part of teaching children.
Correct.
We are teaching at so many schools, we have our instructors going there, we teach them folk, we teach them western dance, and I think when you see them evolve and develop, and same dance form in the class 1 when they are doing till the class 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th as well, you see how their bodies are changing, you see how their mindsets are changing, how sharp they get in terms of
How
stagecraft,
graceful,
flow craft.
yeah.
And I think the intelligence also picks up because you're quick in thinking.
Yeah.
These are certain things which make a student of dance, I think, live a better life. They say there are 5 things. If as a student, as a child, you learn from 5 birds and imbibe that into your life through dancing, it will make you a richer human being.
Which 5 words?
First, they say kakasnanam,
Okay.
like a crow.
Okay.
What does a crow does? It just comes quickly, has a bath, and leaves. Which means keep your personal things very small and little. Pay more attention to what you're learning, which is the big, vast art form. It requires a lot of time for you. So personal things are less, more from others. Kakasnanam, bakula dhyanam, which means like a crane, like a bagula. You stand on one foot and laser sharp focus, cut, it catches its prey, which means on stage and off stage, you have to have the sharp focus, lights, movement, this is my spot, all of that. It's a laser sharp focus. If you are everywhere, you will not be able to do well for yourself in terms of dancing. So, kakasnanam, bakula dhyanam. The third one is alpahari, which means diet.
Okay.
So, for a dancer, your body is a temple. You need to take care of it. So, alpahari. Have you ever seen a fat chidiya? No. So, from a chidiya, what do we learn is to eat as much as you need. So, no cakes, no pastries, no pizzas, no burgers.
Ouch.
It's important that you take care of your body because that will last with you forever.
Right.
Okay? Then, like a woodpecker. What does a woodpecker do? In one place, it sits and cut, it hits 1,000,000 times to make a hole there, which means no 20-second, 30-second Instagram reels. Basic steps of learning for a student is very important. Like we did ABCD,
Right.
we wrote 1,000,000 times. table of two, table of three, we learned a million times. Today, that's why our maths and English is so nice. So same way, you do one step a million times, so you will get it right.
Wow.
And the fifth and last one, which I think is the most important part, is from an eagle. It flies the highest, but the eyes are on the ground, which means as dancers, we must not dance in the clouds. We dance on this earth. So be grounded, be humble, because that's what dance will teach you. These five things, if you imbibe into your life as a dancer, you automatically will become a good performer.
Wow. Imagine that. So this is like literally birds of a feather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
birds flock together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what, Sandy? I was just thinking another thing was that you have worked with children who've been hurt in body, mind, and
Yes.
spirit. And you have been able to bring out the child back into the open again. Tell us a little about that.
You know what happens when you hear their lives, be it sexually abused children, physically abused children, or just mentally tortured children? They are so disturbed mentally that they have no space to think anything but what's happened to them.
Right.
But dance transcends them into another world. As the famous French philosopher Voltaire once said, the dance is the only medium which takes you away from your home without leaving your home.
Right.
So you are there with all your problems, but when the music comes on, when the movement comes into your body, all the worries go out.
Yeah.
I think that's what dance has done to many of these children I work for with different NGOs. You put the music on and they start dancing. They do not know whether there was sexual abuse, mental abuse, nothing. For those hour or 2 hours, it's just themselves.
Letting go.
And then slowly, the problems also let go. Because you enjoy that space when you are in that music and dance space. And then you want to remain in that space. Therefore, you mentally prepare yourself, unconsciously, you mentally prepare yourself to get to that space. So you keep the past behind and you look for the future because you want the future to be what you see right now, which is this happy space of dancing.
But do you also do some counseling along with the dancing?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to speak to them. It's very important to ask what really went wrong with them. And it's important that they speak up. Many of them don't even talk.
Right.
Half the problem is we don't speak to each other in
Correct.
this country. We don't anywhere else. In fact, we are so busy on our phones that we don't get time for our children. We don't get time for our own people. So important is to talk. Half the time in the dance class, I have my children coming and talking to me more than dancing because they want to just share what's
Yes,
happening in their
yeah.
life and what's happened.
And you're a good listener.
But mostly bad things also I get to hear because certain abuses has happened to them. And dance is what is healing them.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I work with them, I'm dancing and I'm crying because I can see what has happened to them and how dance is taking them up into another level.
Yeah, but you must also be dealing with a lot of anger, right? When you especially
There
when you
is.
hear about children, especially when they're hurt,
I
deliberately
think
hurt.
kids, when they get more teenage, is when the anger starts to develop.
Yeah.
When they're a little younger, they are still disturbed.
Yeah.
But that disturbance becomes anger when they are 14,
Yeah.
16, 18. I work with some NGOs, these teenage NGOs, where they are so aggressive. But then we do aggressive dancing. We do
Yeah.
hip hop, we do, we do contemporary, we do jazz, we do freestyle. So there is no structured movement. We just go all out banging our bodies. So let that anger come out. Let the frustration come out because we need that outlet.
Yeah.
And I think if I can provide that outlet, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure. But then how do you help the child? I mean, that child is healing on your dance floor. Or once a child leaves your studio, how do you help him then or help her then?
So it's a very simple process. When you experience an hour of two of bliss, and when you walk out into a non-bliss area, you want to come back to the bliss because you enjoy that
Yeah.
smooth way of your life. So sometimes they don't want to leave the floor. They will come back daily to experience the bliss.
Right.
And then what's told to them is what you're experiencing on the floor, you must bring into your life. So whatever dance and music is giving to you, you must bring it from inside of you without the dance and music.
Okay.
So that generating the happiness of yourself is what's important.
Okay.
And that's when they start developing onto the concept of what was my happiness. I was not thinking about the problem. So if you start thinking of it, leave it out. So that's conscious effort of leaving the problems aside and going into the space of which is making you happy. Do things that make you happy. Be with people that make you happy. So that's what we pay attention to. And slowly, slowly, dance becomes lesser. And what the feeling of dance was there, that starts to develop into
Yeah,
them.
that's what you hold on to then, no?
That's what we want. We don't want them to become dancers. We don't want them to become musicians and actors or whatever. We want them to use dance as a medium to heal themselves. And once you know what's happening, I think it's easy.
That's true.
I will give my own example. When I have lost some projects, big, big projects, I am also upset about it. So I do this dance called Tanura, which is a Sufi whirling dance. I will just put some music on which I like, and I spin for half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes 1.5 hours. I'm sweating, dripping of sweat, but that whole oneness that happens with dance calms my nerves down. That it's okay if I have lost something, I have gained also so much,
Yeah.
right? So that gratitude that comes in with that, it's I think dance is definitely a healer.
I'm pretty sure of that. I've seen you in action. Like, and I keep saying, but I remember I was at this hotel. I'd come to meet you for an interview, I guess. I don't remember what interview. And I remember and you were actually in the middle of choreographing a fashion show. I think it was with, I can't remember, Lula, Nisha Lula.
Nita Lulla.
Nita Lula, yeah. I think it was Nita, yeah, it was Nita Lula, right. And I remember you were at this, and you were choreographing this thing, and you were actually doing your Sufi dance.
Yeah, I was for one of my
Yeah,
shows. That's right.
yes. I
With
remember.
lights on my dress.
Yes.
That's right.
I remember, and I was sitting there in the audience waiting for us to when you would come off stage, we could sit and have a conversation. I remember you went from you were excited, of course, you're full of passion, which what you always are, but the moment you started dancing, it was like, and I was
Yeah, it
watching another
does.
Sandip
I can
Soparrkar.
understand.
I
But it
could,
happens to me very often, Corina.
really,
I still remember one show I was doing on Life of Cupid. And before every show of mine, I always tell my spray and I always tell myself if it's a story I'm portraying that now my job is over. Now it's you I'm going to be performing for.
right.
So it's your story. So you take me through whatever you want. And if it is good, if it is bad, it's your doing because I am now yours. So I'm the medium of his story going out to the audiences. And I remember one show I was doing on Life of Cupid. And in the middle of my dance, for a few minutes, I do not know what I was doing. And I remember seeing myself from like a balcony area dancing down with my ex-wife.
Wow.
And the show got over, and my wife asked me, "What were you doing? Your eyes were blank." And I told her, "You will not believe, but I think that for a few moments I saw myself dance."
You're having an out of body experience.
But it only happened because I was dancing.
Wow.
So I think it can be so magical with you that you do not realize what really is happening, but it heals you in so many different ways.
Wow.
It made me see myself from a
From-
balcony, and I was dancing. I could see. I said, "Did I make a mistake in my choreography?" She said, "No, you did not." But I saw myself dance, and I think it's magical.
I am sure of that. Wow. And did you think to yourself, what was your thought when you were up there? Did you have any special thoughts?
No, I think I just saw the dance happening and both of us dancing together. And from that day till today, I tell her, we both dance really well. Because I could see from a third point of view that we
Yeah.
were dancing so well. Normally,
Wow.
when you're dancing together, you don't really see the other person,
Yeah.
paying attention to your own self
Correct.
and body coordination, all of that.
Correct.
Here, as an audience, I was watching myself dance.
Wow.
So you realize the good and the bads of what you're seeing.
How cool is that?
It is, it's strange, but I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I am pretty sure of that. Wow. That's something to think about. Something you're talking about wife, you talk about, so we moved on to women. You work with a lot of women who've been emotionally traumatized, and you've helped them reach another plateau, another realm. Tell us a little about that. How does that help? How does that work?
Through Dance for a Cause, I was doing this show on domestic violence. Every year through Dance for a Cause, we pick up one cause and we do dance drama and we perform it all over the world. UN is supporting me for it for the past 7 years now. So I perform at different countries, my dance dramas of whatever subject I choose. So one of the years I chose domestic violence.
Wow, that's powerful.
And It was a 20 minutes dance drama, and I was performing at the UN headquarters with all the employees of UN. The show finished, and two ladies, a black woman and an Oriental lady, came up to me saying that we are best friends working in UN for the past 12 years, and they're both crying, saying that we are experiencing domestic violence for the past 10 years.
Oh,
Best friends have not told each other. But today, after watching your show, sir, we want to go and complain about our husbands.
wow.
I was just looking at them, tears rolled down my cheeks because I was wondering, really, my 15, 20 minutes of dance drama has changed their lives. That's what dance does.
Power of dancing,
It's
yes.
not just
Yeah.
me dancing, but even the audience who's watching.
Is interacting with you, yes.
It stirs your soul in such a manner that if, and I think all my shows was worth it if those two women went and complained ahead.
Yeah.
So I think that's what dance is supposed to do
Yeah.
for the viewers and for the performers. It's supposed to churn things inside you. They say Sagar Manthan hua tha, right? And we both have the good and the bad sides of you, and you churn the ocean inside you
Yeah.
and you wonder where to go. That's what dance is supposed to do for you. My great grandfather, who was the doctor to Mahatma Gandhi and Morarji Desai, once said that kala और kalam युद्ध छेड़ सकती है. कला और कलम, you're a journalist.
Yes.
तलवार और तोप युद्ध जीत सकती है, लेकिन कला और कलम युद्ध छेड़ सकती है.
Wow.
So we both, you as journalists and as artists, we have the power to ignite things into people's lives and change the society.
Right. Absolutely. I have watched, like, again, I keep saying I have because sometimes I feel like I'm the chronicler of your history. I stood in the sidelines and I watched you perform. I watched you grow as a dancer. I watched you grow as a human being. I watched you, and we've had these long discussions over the years as well, off camera, off record. So, and I've always marveled at the fact that you never fail to reach out to somebody who's hurt or hurting.
I think that's what our job is as a teacher. As a teacher, or as a dance school,
But how do you know this person's hurting? I mean, I'm not about to come and tell you my life history if I'm hurting.
no, you can make out. When the person is in front of you dancing, today I can say that very openly that I can make out what kind of stress one is going through. Is it personal stress or is it an official like work stress? That much you can make out the way they're dancing. Because today the dance is different, tomorrow the dance is different, and the day that's different. So you realize some problem is going on somewhere. So you just go and ask them that is everything okay with you? And is everything fine? And most of them, I'm very proudly saying 99% of them will always come and share their problems with me. And I'm happy to hear and just ask them to dance.
Yeah.
Because I know it can really,
Dance your troubles away.
it definitely does. Takes your blues away, they say, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Sandeep, moving a little away from the line of wellness, we talk a little more common stuff now. What inspired you? We go back in time a little bit. So, what inspired you to focus on ballroom and Latino dancing, Latin American dance styles? What was it that brought it out?
Well, I was a young boy.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to dance with beautiful women. And the best part was to do ballroom dancing because that's the only time you would get to hold beautiful girls in your arms, right?
Of course.
So I think that was the only way I took up ballroom dancing. And I was very, very lucky to find Eva Maria Cherukuru as one of my teachers who taught me that the beauty of dance. I would admit that I went there thinking I will spin around lovely women and take them to the clubs and nightclubs and the bars and discos and enjoy with them.
Yeah.
But she inculcated the true essence of dancing into me and said that was not the only aim to dance ballroom. There's a lot more to ballroom dancing. And because she taught me all of that, and then I went ahead to Germany to do my training ahead into it.
You got a certification from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that it just made me more in depth into my dance. They say there are 5 E's of dancing. First is the different levels of dancing. So first, entertainment. We all go maza masti party, whatever. That most of us get stuck into. Second is education to dance. So you study dancing, which I am glad I did, that you understand more depth of it. Then that study, that education, so you entertain yourself, then you go to education, then that education evokes something inside you. You start creating choreographies, dance dramas, because after your education, you get to make new things. It evokes things inside you. Then after that is when you start understanding what is happening around you. You start to evolve with creating all these different things. And the last that happens is the enlightenment through dancing, which I'm hoping it happens to me.
Wow.
Because I think these five, if you embody, so I think I've surely crossed the first step of entertainment, education I've had. I've made dance dramas, it's evolved, educated me. I've seen so much happening. I think my last stage of enlightenment is still to come. But I hope it happens because that's the main essence of dancing.
I can imagine. Well, I hope it happens for you in soon.
Inshallah.
Yes, absolutely. But Sandeep, the fact that you were one of the earlier Indians to be certified on an international level. So, what are the kind of challenges that you faced at that point of time?
Oh, a lot of it. There was racism because people were not very happy with a brown skin coming in, learning white dances. Um, I was the only brown skin in my dance college, and I was treated a bit differently. Oh, an Asian has come, kind of a thing. But I think your only way out was dedication and devotion and passion towards the art. And I'm so glad I could offer that. My principal, who's no more now, he taught me that if you study your dance more precisely, all these mouths will shut up.
Wow.
And that's what happened. So after I finished my course, I was the topper in my college. And I think everybody shut up when they realized what was happening.
Correct. It's always the underdog that wins. And then I love an underdog story. It kind of gives you hope. Absolutely. Speaking about hope, you performed at so many prestigious events. Across the world, and you performed for our prime minister as well. Um, could you share a particularly memorable or challenging performance to date?
The biggest challenge, I think, was when I was performing for the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland. It was in 2008 when Dance for a Cause was launched with the cause of Save the Tiger. Late Mrs. Parmeshwar Godrej had got us to do that show there. We had Nicolas Sarkozy, Bill Clinton watching our show. And it was peak of winters, and we were dressed in something which was not for the weather. But apart from that, even to breathe in that weather is difficult.
Yeah.
So physically, it was very challenging. Plus, I think the nerves were very, very difficult because of such big dignitaries from all over the world who had come there. And we were talking about our cause, Save the Tiger, which is our national animal. So there was a lot on our shoulders. And I'm so glad after that when praises came in that it was one of the best performances I've seen. 2008 was a long time back though. But I still remember that performance because it's extremely dear to me. And the second one I would say is when Mr. Narendra Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister, was the CM of Gujarat. We performed for the Asian Gymnastic Championships. We were just 10 of us. And it was a huge stadium. So how would 10 people capture the entire stadium was a big, difficult opportunity for us. But I'm so glad the letter that came from the Ministry of Culture thereafter saying that it was a fabulous performance,
Wow.
I think made things good for us.
Wow. That's so cool, yeah. I can just imagine. I can just imagine being stunned by that dance form. So, I know when you're on the dance floor, all of us stop dancing, we actually stare. So, I get that. I get it completely. But beyond the technical skills, because dancing is obviously very technical. There's certain things that you can't call it poetry. It's pure technicality
True.
at work. So beyond the technical skills, what do you emphasize most when teaching students or at your ballroom studio?
Well, most important part I teach is, like you said, technique. A dancer is dancer, yes, with the expressions, with your body. But I think if you have technique, the brightness of the dance comes out a lot better.
Right.
So where the toe should be, where the elbow should be, where the wrist should be is very important. If you're just dancing for fun, anything and everything is fine. But if you're dancing for a particular reason, which is to learn the dance form, the art form, you better learn it the right way. And I'm quite strict teacher.
Wow.
The stick comes out, and I don't believe in
Seriously?
the fact that you must not beat your students. I believe you must beat, because when you beat them, they'll
Ouch.
understand better.
Okay, now I am very scared now. Okay, sorry, I am terrified. Baba, I was just talking about personal, you know, satisfaction. Talking about you've been there, you've done that, but you've done a whole lot more, which people really don't realize or talk about it. For example, you received a personal letter of appreciation from both Queen Elizabeth, the former Queen of England, and
Prince
Prince
Charles.
Charles, who's now
Now
the King
King
of
Charles.
England. Yeah, Prince Charles. So tell us about it. Tell us about what happened.
Well, I think that's the most cherished letter. It's still on my entrance of my house. It is appreciating popularizing ballroom dancing in Asia and in India, especially a country like India, which is not very ballroom dancing savvy. And it's been so many years, almost 28 years now I've
Wow.
been doing it.
Yeah.
So that letter was to praise the efforts of popularizing their culture
Right.
into a country and other parts of Asia, which is not very
Right.
ballroom
Correct.
savvy. So I think it's just feels humbled to get something like that from the royal family, because they are the ones who head the Ballroom Association of
Right.
the World Ballroom
Correct.
Association. They are the funding company for it. So they appreciating the work, I think, just makes me feel even more beautiful.
Nice. Very nice. Walking away from human beings to our four-legged friends. You've been the strongest protagonist for Peter.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Miracle Foundation and Peter. Your how did you get into that?
So 2007 it was when Jesse and me were the cause ambassadors for PETA, talking about snakes, which is through our dancing. And I remember that dance where we said that they don't dance, we do. So there are times when they feel no the snake snap ka
Yeah.
dance karana hai, especially Nag Panchami time to
Ha.
pilau whatever. So that's not, they are not performers, we are performers. Our ad said that. And I think it's very important to bring, as dancers, we are the windows to society.
Yeah.
We have to tell what's going wrong. If we don't say, nobody else will.
Yeah.
So, be it cause for animal rights, or like you say, Miracle Foundation, which is for the orphan children,
Right.
I think we have to bring it out through our various art forms, and that's what we try to do.
But that's been a long journey for you, no? And you also, along the way, you earned yourself a doctorate. You have got your face on a postal stamp.
Yeah, I know.
That was the kick of it
I know,
all.
that was like closest to my heart.
Yeah. So tell us about it.
So 2018 is when Bhutan issued a stamp on my name, of specially honoring 10 years of Dance for a Cause. And I remember wearing Deepak Shah More Mischief clothes
Yeah.
on that stamp, which is there. And I will remember it not for a good reason, but for something which is very not so nice, because the day Mr. Shah passed away was the day when the stamp was given to me.
Ouch.
And I remember before going for the stamp, meeting him here at Selvan Pune at Ruby Hall, telling him that, sir, I'm going to go pick up my stamp, and I hope I come back and I can see you and show you the stamp, because in that stamp I was wearing his clothes. And I could not see him. But the morning I got the news, and the afternoon I was getting the stamp. I think I'll remember it for that. But it is very close to me, because I think it's a big honor for another country to acknowledge Dance for a Cause, my worldwide initiative. And I hope it just keeps going ahead always.
From your lips to God's ears.
Inshallah.
Always. Absolutely. You know, let's talk about something generic right now. Let's talk about the fact that you've been there, you've done that. You have mentored a lot of young students who've gone on to becoming dance maestros themselves. So what would be the one piece of advice you would give someone who's passionate about dance but is hesitant to pursue it professionally?
Well, I would just say that it's. I understand that dance is a bit difficult to take as a career, but there are many avenues for dance today. There is film choreography, there is television choreography, which is separate, there is wedding choreography, which is really big. Of course, you have stage choreography as well. Then you have classes, which is a very popular medium. So don't just think that dance is only one-sided track. Today, it's got many different roads that have opened for dance. Try it, because you never know when can you succeed. And if it does, good. But before you do that, pay more attention to your education, because that's the backbone. Do not fight with your parents and leave all of that to go
Right.
into any kind of art form, because
Right.
parents will always be there for you. Things might come, things might go, but जो साथ पेरेंट्स देते हैं, जो आशीर्वाद पेरेंट्स देते हैं, that's the most important. Without their support, I think nothing can happen.
Yeah.
Like they say, uh, you know, glamour, glitz, newspaper articles, whatever, interviews like these are the fruits of life. But your family is the root of life. And if
Nicely
that
said.
is not strong enough, you will not be able to go ahead. So make that with you. Confide to them that you want to dance. Tell them your dreams, and hopefully your parents will support you for it. And then go ahead and blossom, because there are many ways you can do it in dance.
Well, my friend, you've done that. You've blossomed, and how? All I can tell you is, may the force be with you,
Thank you so
and
much.
may you always be happy, healthy, and well.
I hope I keep dancing till my last breath.
Oh, you trust me. The shoes on, you and I are going to be there. We are not the kind of people who's going to retire. Like I always tell people that I'm going to be that aunt who comes home and everyone's scrabbling for cover because she's that one who's very particular